Hey all, this is Dave, and today's big hairy idea is why you must share your origin story. So we've been talking all week about the idea of origin stories, about the stories that made you who you are. They're often these difficult stories that really tiny things when you might have broken your heart, might have really been hit up against a wall, but you learned something from them that totally transformed your life. It took you to a different place. These are origin stories. But you might say, okay, well, you know what? I've got my origin stories. I've gone through all kinds of painful crap that made me who I am. I get that. But why do I have to take that gunk that I was so glad to put behind me and pull it out there and put it out to the world? Isn't it enough that I've been through these experiences? Why do I need to share them with the entire world, put them out on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere else? I've gone through it. I don't really want to dig it up. I know it made me who I am, but okay, what am I supposed to do with that? Can't I just keep it in I'm still that new person, right? I'm still the person who's been transformed by the origin story. Why do I need to share it? But there's something incredibly powerful about when we take these origin stories and they're so difficult for us and we do put them out to the world because they help us understand, they help other people understand what we've been through and how we can help them get to the same place. Stories are just so incredibly powerful. That's why, when I've written books like The Size of Your Dreams and this one we're working on now on financial independence, that I'm not just teaching lessons. There's a ton of lessons in each book, and I could just say, here's the lessons. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and be done with it. But we don't do that. We try to write these characters, and we try to show the turmoil these characters are going through as they're wrestling with these decisions and these ideas that are bouncing in around their heads, and they're struggling with it. Because the struggle makes us human, makes us relatable. And when I hear somebody tell me, you should do X, Y, Z, I tend to blow them off. What do you know about me? But when they start telling me, I was in a really tough place. I was going through X, Y, Z, and they're like, ooh, wow, I've been there. I know it. How'd you get out? And they say, well, I was in that really tough place. And then I discovered this, and it totally transformed my life. Suddenly, they might be giving the exact same piece of advice, but like, wow, if you were where I am now, and this thing got you from here to there, and that's where I want to go, I want to try the thing that you've done. So it's really important that we not only have our origin stories, but we put them out to the world, especially, particularly if the origin story has to do with what you are offering. So, as my wife Hannah is a coach, and she's helping people with certain difficulties, and part of what makes her relatable is the fact that she had many of the same difficulties her clients are now going through. If she said, well, you should hire me because I've studied people like you, and I've read textbooks about people with your issue, therefore, I know I can tell you to do X, Y, Z, and numerous studies have told me that should work. You'd probably say, oh yeah, I don't want to hear what you have to say. You haven't been there. But if she tells a story of her real deep struggles and discovering what helped her get through those struggles, then somebody struggling with the same thing, well, they want to tap into exactly that power. So that's why it's incredibly important that we look into our origin stories, and especially when they relate to what it is we're trying to put out into the world, what we're trying to accomplish in the world, what we want to bring to the world, that we take these stories and we put them out there, we share them. And we let others know that, yes, I've been there, I've been through it, I'm on the other side, or maybe I'm not even. Maybe I'm just taking steps, getting myself to the other side. But already what I have to share will be tremendously helpful to where you're going. It adds incredible credibility to everything we put out and to everything we have to say, and makes us so much more relatable.